If you're an iPhone or an iPad user, and if you've ever tried to block it from accessing pornography, you've probably discovered that it can be a complex process that isn't always effective. Now, whether you're a parent who's trying to protect your kids from viewing X-rated content, or if you've personally struggled with porn addiction, you've probably found out that there are all sorts of creative loopholes around just about any filter or block that you can come up with. So in this video, I'm going to show you a bulletproof process to make your phone absolutely porn-free. And the best part is it doesn't cost anything and it uses software that's already on your device. In this example, we're using an iPhone 6. Now this phone currently has no restrictions at all. The App Store and the Safari browser are both enabled. We can download any app we want and we can visit any site we want. Now if we're trying to block porn, this is totally unacceptable. Now, if you're blocking content for yourself, you're going to need to enlist the help of an accountability partner because they're going to choose the restrictions code for your phone. Now, this should be someone you trust. It should be someone you see on a pretty regular basis, and this part's really important. It needs to be someone who isn't going to forget the code they set for you. So to lock down your phone, you're going to go into your phone's settings and click the gear icon labeled General. Scroll down and select Restrictions. Now at the top, select Enable Restrictions. Now for the purposes of this video, we'll set our restrictions code to 1111. It's going to ask us to re-enter the code for confirmation, and once we've done that, our restrictions menu is active. Now from here, we can tap the sliders to deactivate just about any functionality we choose. So let's go ahead and turn off Safari. If you're securing the device for a child and you want to prevent them from taking pictures, you can deactivate the camera. We'll also scroll down and turn off installing apps, and that will remove access to the App Store. So as long as we don't have any other browser apps installed on our phone, these settings should keep us off the internet and prevent us from downloading any other browsers, right? No, not even close. The problem is that many apps contain internal browsers that allow just about any curious or clever person to get on the internet totally unrestricted. Now, most of these apps have browsers because the companies want us to be able to visit their website without leaving their app. It's meant to be convenient. Unfortunately, it's not very convenient when you're trying to block porn. Here's an example of how this works. Let's say I use Yelp, for instance, a very popular app, and let's say I'm in Los Angeles and I look for a Starbucks. When I go to the Yelp page for this particular Starbucks, it gives me a link to Starbucks' website. Now if I click on that link, I am now browsing the internet from within the Yelp app. Now in this case, it's taken me to a small page for this specific store, but if I just click on the company's logo, I'm taken to the full site where I can scroll down and inevitably find links to their social media pages. And there they are. Now if I click on the Twitter icon, it'll take me to Starbucks' Twitter page. And from here, I can use Twitter's search function to find Google's Twitter, which conveniently gives me a link for google.com. Now once I click on that, Google's search page, and with it virtually the entire internet, is available to me totally unfiltered, even though we've disabled the Safari browser and the App Store. Now obviously, if we're trying to block access to porn, this is a huge problem. Now thankfully, ever since iOS 7 in 2013, Apple has given us a feature to filter or block all web browsing, even from within apps, which is awesome. So to activate it, you're going to go back to your settings and then to restrictions. You'll need to enter your code again, and then once the menu is active, scroll down to websites. Now by default, all websites are allowed. Now remember, we still have Safari turned off completely, and that is the strongest level of protection, but if you want to allow limited internet use, you'll want to re-enable Safari. Now if you simply want to block porn, you can just choose to limit adult content. Now Apple's adult filter, it is pretty solid, and it doesn't seem to let much slip through the cracks, but just in case, you're also given the option to whitelist or blacklist sites manually. Just tap on the Always Allow or Never Allow options and add your sites accordingly. Personally, I highly recommend adding Twitter and Tumblr to the Never Allow list. Facebook and Instagram do contain a lot of sexualized content, but they're pretty good about blocking outright nudity and pornography. Twitter and Tumblr, on the other hand, have no filters whatsoever, and you can see just about anything you want, which right now we don't want. But if you'd rather not take any chances at all and you want to truly make your phone 100% porn-proof, you can block web browsing completely by selecting specific websites only. You'll see a default list of kid-friendly websites that are allowed. All you have to do is swipe left on each of those to delete them until there's no allowed sites left. Now, if you're securing the device for a child or a teen, you can review the other sections in the allowed content section of the restrictions menu, like turning off access to explicit iTunes material, for instance. You should also review the apps currently installed on the device to make sure they fit your sensibilities. YouTube apps, for instance, are very unlikely to have outright pornography, but they're full of sexualized content that you probably don't want your child seeing. As an alternative, you could try something like YouTube Kids. And once you exit the restrictions menu, you can now have peace of mind that this device won't be able to access pornographic content. Anyone who tries browsing the web through an internal browser will get an error message, and that works on any app they try and use. Now, one caveat of this process is that apps can't be updated unless the App Store is activated again, which is why it's important for those of you with accountability partners to choose someone who you see on a somewhat regular basis. That's it for this video. Hopefully it's given you guys some tools to help you live your life porn-free. If you would like to support this video or others like it, you can visit our business site at Change Your Life in 9 Minutes. That's CYL9M.com. God bless and thanks again.